Yeah, I saw a motivational clip today, and I actually loved it. I want to talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was in January. Everybody's focused on a dream, but in December they're brought to reality. What are you doing to make sure that next December it's not reality?
I think this year I'm super motivated, and I want to make sure that I'm a huge step above where I left off last year. So if I can come back next December and I feel like I accomplished, like I already set goals. I did a bingo board with my girlfriend. So basically we have all these goals that we set for the year, right? And by the end of the year, I want to complete every single one of those goals. And I attack that one day at a time. And, I got some pretty big goals this year.
Can you share some?
Yeah, so I mean, some of them, it ranges from my music to my actual life, to whatever. So, like, I would say a few small things I wanted to do, is, one of my songs this year is going to hit 1 million streams. Mark my words. That's one of my big goals. Okay? My next goal comes to something a little more, personal is, just knowing how to control the good and the bad people in my life and knowing how to keep all the negativity out of my life, because doing all this, I need all the motivation I can, and any negative people just bring me down. So I'm cutting that all out this year. And then I would say the third thing, is really to focus on being at the gym every day, making sure I get bigger, stronger, push myself super hard in the gym. So, yeah.
You want to be like me at the end of the year?
Yes, that's the goal. Let's stand up real quick just to show them.
Yeah.
Alright, sit down. Just had to do that real quick.
Actually, can you touch on the people around you, how much of an impact it has? I recently was struggling with letting certain people go out of my life.
Yep.
So, I was the people that I'm letting out of my life right now, I had struggled because we were in love with people who didn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm coming to a realization, like, yeah, I'm not that person people were in love with. That group of people was not in love with him. They're in love with somebody who doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Talk about how important it is to be around people who push you, drive you, are realists. I really do believe in realists who tell you, hey, Shane, you're wrong here, you're right here, let's do this, let's not do that.
Yeah.
How important is that? And what's the difference between having it and not having it?
So, I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer if you kind of, and nobody, actually it's probably not a no-brainer because not everyone does this, but if you can take time to cut out those bad people out of your life, even if it's for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just to prove to yourself, like, stop talking to them. They probably won't even text you if they're that kind of person, and cut them out for 3 weeks and just talk every single day to those people. Even if it's not every single day, stay in touch with those people that, have big dreams, who work super hard, they work hard, and put yourself around them and kind of keep an eye on what they're doing as well, because that'll motivate you. If I hear you're at work and you're doing your thing, you're making money, you're freaking inspiring people, I'm at home sleeping, doing whatever, I'm like, what am I doing, bro? I gotta get up, I gotta be motivated, So I think having someone in your life that's not like that is kind of just makes you feel comfortable where you're at, and you should never feel comfortable where you're at. No. You should feel like you always need to get more, Never.
I don't believe so. I used to say, being uncomfortable, be comfortable being uncomfortable, but I think the difference between uncomfortable and discomfort are two different things. Mm-hmm. Discomfort is when you're pushing yourself to a certain extent. Uncomfortable, I'm an extremist. Mm-hmm. And I do things that most people probably shouldn't, and I won't recommend, like emptying bank accounts to get on planes, just hope things work out, and doing everything in my power to make things work out, which does work 95% of the time. Mm-hmm. But I truly believe, I don't know, I'm huge on risks. I love taking risks because I'm betting on myself, and I'm investing in myself, and I have all control that I believe. Maybe I'm delusional about the outcome. Being around you has also inspired me. Watching you perform on stages in New York Fashion Week, New York Swim Week, at what was it, Wonderama TV, right in Times Square, and then turn around and seeing you on a billboard, that was amazing. And then, us being able to just grow, and every time around somebody, them mentioning you, and me being able to talk proudly of you, and seeing your skills grow. Like, every time I hear you, I'm not just saying this. Like, the piano you played today, I've never heard that skill. You were playing the James Arthur song. I haven't heard that yet. When I heard your latest song, I was like, geez, he's always growing.
Appreciate it.
The thing that I've learned about you is, I learned being around you is, it doesn't all have to be right now. Mm-hmm. right? It's more of a enjoy the journey and respect that it's going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
But when it takes time, the final product will be more fine-tuned.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the big things I do to go along with what you just said is like, you know, I try to do a little bit of everything, you know, like so many people set a goal to do one thing and they work so hard at it and it's going somewhere but it's taking forever. So like say I'm playing the guitar and I can't get something, bro, like, and it makes me so mad and I can't get it. I'm not going to keep working on it. Like I'll take a break from it and play something on the guitar, learn something new on the guitar. And even that just makes me feel like, oh, I learned something today. And doing something small like that, I'll come back to the piano for sure, you know? But it's just like little things like that to take a break from one thing and start something else, you know? You can't always attack the same thing over and over. You know, that's how you burn out too, so.
Yeah. Do you have, I know the answer, but do you have any new music coming or music videos coming?
I do. So I have a new song coming called Bring Back the Love. If you guys follow me, you'll see some crazy clips. It's a very inspiring song. And we just shot a sick music video in New York City. So yeah, you guys are going to see that.
Do we have a time estimated?
I'd say 100% by the end of next month. And probably sooner.
That soon? Oh, that's exciting. Have you learned anything being around me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're very motivated to the point that you don't really care what people think about you, you know? And this goes the same with what I do. So that's why I like putting myself around you because, you know, obviously there's people who look at us and say, who do they think they are, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like this kid Dylan, like, he used to freaking wear Gucci belts, like fake Gucci belts,
Yep.
fake Gucci shirts and shit like that. And now he's freaking riding around in Escalades and doing motivational speeches, and it looks like who does he think he is posting this, you know? But you don't care, you know? And there is people, whether it's not, you know, where I'm at 800,000, you're not there yet on that side of things, but you don't care. You're talking to those, you know, 2,000, 3,000 followers that you have that support you. It's about them. It's not about the people that don't support you, you know? It's really about the people that love you and are with you for the ride, you know what I mean?
100%. I think the biggest life lesson I'll thank my father for is show up no matter what.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Show up no matter what.
Yep.
And that's I think you can vouch for it. I carry myself that way in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Whether it's work, it's friends, it's support, it's working out, it's any way I can show up 100% me, I show up. And that is like, a lot of people, oh, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? How'd you do this? How'd you get here? How'd you get in front of that person? I just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest life lesson I learned was if you show up around the right people and get into the right rooms, everything else just kind of falls into place.
Yeah, for sure. And just being there and someone else seeing you there is just like enough. You don't even gotta say nothing, you know, like this, you'd be surprised how many people you talk to on a regular basis that won't show up, you know, and it's the people that you don't see every day, but they're just real people. Those are the people that show up, you know?
Yeah. What's the biggest life lesson you've learned this last year?
I think this past year I realized, you know, I didn't drop a lot of music last year, and you know, I was very open towards the end of the year of creating new connections, you know, and I was so focused for the longest time just growing social media, but I started talking to some new producers. And I have a great producer. I use him all the time. He's my engineer. He does my vocals. Saucy. Shout out to Saucy.
He's the man.
But, you know, I reached out to another producer, did one song with him, and I met someone who actually straight producer, makes beats. And he's insane. And that's Zeno. We'll put his ad in here too. He just did the beat for Bring Back the Love. Came out insane. And yeah, it's all about making that team, keeping those people, those motivated people around you, you know? And then this year is going to be different. I hope to drop hella songs this year.
I hope, too, that you do that as well.
Yeah.
And I think with the hard thing with doing what we're doing is there's no promise to anything and there's no direct path. What keeps you so focused knowing that, you know, this could work or it couldn't work, but I don't believe that in my head because maybe I'm delusional. It's going to work no matter what. Like, I'm good. I'll die on this path or this hill before it doesn't work.
I think the one thing that keeps, like, that in my head, right, is that, you know, it's never too late to start, which is, like, for me, it's never too late to start trying harder. You know, it's like, this year, I'm like, I mean, I gained 700,000 followers last year. And for me, you know, that I still feel like I could have pushed myself way harder. There's always harder to push yourself, right? And it's like, you see these artists that are blowing up right now, and they're 28, 30 years old, maybe even older, you know? And I'm 21, and sometimes I gotta remind myself that just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean I have to give up, you know? Like, if I keep going and going and going, so what if it takes another 3 years? Hopefully it's like this year, you know? But if it takes another 3 years, it takes another 3 years, you know?
I believe in energy a lot. I don't know if you do. I don't know. We haven't had that conversation, but I could feel it. That this is the year that I blow up. This is my year. This is the year that I start to see the fruits of my labor. And I started 2 big things. As you know, I started a big deal with a school, and then also I started with interviewing a world champion here, actually, in our studio.